everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to be doing another video with a little bit of a time constraint. So today is Tuesday and I just got back from Barcelona on Sunday afternoon. But on Saturday coming up, I am leaving for Amsterdam to go to the Beyoncé concert. I am very excited. And why Amsterdam? Well, first of all, why not? And second of all the European tickets came on sale before the UK ones did. So I thought I'd try my hand and I managed to bag these tickets. So I decided instead of going to the ones in London or in Sunderland or Glasgow, let's make a holiday of it and go to one of my favourite cities and go to Amsterdam and also see Beyoncé. So I was quite happy about that. Also, fun fact, while I was in Barcelona, Beyoncé was there too. I had no idea that it was the same weekend, but I did notice a lot of glittery hats and fantastic outfits one evening, and I thought, something's going on. This might be Beyoncé. And then I realised that same evening, Beyoncé was there. So I'm basically just following her from European city to city at this point, and I'm actually going to finally see the show on Sunday. I'm very excited. Now, why this video? First of all, I've seen everybody going all out with their outfits and I want in on the action, especially the makers and the sewists amongst you guys. You've been really going all out, making full outfits of all the show looks, and I love it. Now, I want to do the same. I absolutely love the gold bodysuit that has this thing going on, and I want to recreate it, but I don't want to recreate it as a bodysuit because, for one, I want to be able to wear this maybe more than once, and two, I don't want to have to go to the bathroom and take off my entire bodysuit just so I can pee. Not ideal. We're going to make it as a dress version, which is good because the dress version already exists. The actual designer of that look and of the dress version is Loewe, and it came out like a couple seasons ago. And it's basically a shift dress that has the arm across the front and the arm across the front. So I think I'm going to try and recreate that. So we're going to have a go, and I've got about 4 days to do it because we're leaving on Saturday. So wish me luck. Okay, let's talk fabrics. You would have seen in the last video these two fabrics saying I want to do the Beyoncé thing. So let's talk about them in depth. This is a like spandex. It's a textured one and it's cream with this kind of like almost like a gold fleck to it. It's got a little bit of iridescent shine. I didn't want it to be super sparkly because, again, I want it to be wearable outside of this concert. So this works as a kind of neutral but still very much like the outfit and almost exactly like the Loewe dress. For the hands is going to be this super stretchy knit in this kind of like sparkly kind of knit fabric. It's got like a textured top and it's actually super stretchy. So with this I'm going to make myself two gloves, which I've never made a glove before, so that should be fun, and then the two hands going across like this. I'm not sure if I want to do that exactly. I might choose to do this and maybe something like that. I'll figure it out as we go along, but I've got more than enough to do that. One last thing that I haven't quite figured out yet is that the hands need red nails. So I'm either going to find some red fabric in my stash and applique it on, or we can use my embroidery machine to embroider some nails onto the hands. I don't know, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So I printed off this pattern and put it together. This is the Helper Sew Imani dress. Basically, it is a tank top dress with a asymmetric thigh slit, and the back is also just as simple. It's basically 3 pieces: the front, the back on the fold, and then some binding. So that should go together super quickly. I'm going to try and see if I can get that done today, and then that gives me about 3 days to faff around with gloves and hand things. So yeah, that's the brief. That's what we're doing. Let's get into it. dress almost finished. I made it last night. I just need to do a top stitch down here for the slit and to hem it at the bottom, and I think I'm going to do a top stitch around the neck and the arms just to keep the seam allowance to the inside, because it's rolling at the moment and I don't really want to stitch in the ditch. I think I quite want the little double row. So other than that, it's quite cute. I think it's definitely going to be a job for some shapewear. As you can see, I'm wearing my gym leggings underneath and you can see all the lines for everything. So yeah, but this is basically the base, and what we're going to do is put the hand over here and this hand over here. Still debating whether I should put hand here. I'm not sure. I have put a poll out on Instagram, so maybe they can help me decide whether I do that or not. And now all we got to do is make the hands, and I still don't know how I'm going to do it. So I'm going to go look at the picture, and then I guess we're going to make a pattern, figure it out. So I measured my hand position across my chest and I've kept it the exact same, and I've drawn around it and I've outlined. So for this one, I'm doing my other hand, which is interesting because I'm left-handed, so I can't, I mean, it's not going to be the greatest outline, but we'll make it work. And I've kind of offset my arm a bit, so it's kind of a little bit crooked. That doesn't actually look bad. So I've got my left hand here, which is going to be across the crutch, and my right hand here, which is going to be across the boobs. And I think that's going to work. Like, I'm going to cut it out in paper and pin it and see what happens before we cut it out in fabric. Cut it out in paper and I pinned it on in the exact placement that I want it. It is not spot on with the other dress, but it is close enough. And we're just doing a little paper test. So actually, I actually think it looks really good. So we're going to cut it out. I feel like this is the right thing. We're going to cut it out in the fabric, and then I guess we'll pin it again to see what it looks like in the black, because it's also stretchy, so it might stretch, might look a little bit different. And then finally we're going to figure out how to attach it on, because I haven't thought that far forward yet. So hopefully. I've pinned the arms to the dress. I decided to put it on flat so that when this stretches out, so do the hands, because it's a super stretchy fabric, so I don't actually think it will misshape too much. So I've pinned it on here, and we're gonna hand baste the whole thing on very, very well so I can try it on and see what it looks like stretched out. If it's in the right position and it's all good, then I think what we're going to do is zigzag stitch across the edge, like, of the whole thing. It's going to take forever and it's going to be really fiddly, but it means it will be a secure fit, and a zigzag stitch also stretches, so that should be fine too. So yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I think it's looking pretty good. The hands are a bit mad, but I will fix that before we do the final attachment. Good morning. Okay, so it is the next day. Last night I sat and watched a film and tacked this onto the dress by hand. It was actually pretty easy. I thought it would take forever, but it didn't. And I'm trying it this morning, and I think it looks okay. I think the placement is almost there. I think this hand, the arm could go up across this breast a little more, kind of like that instead of like that, which is what's happening. These fingers are a little bit wonky, but I think we can straighten them out a bit. And also, because I made the arms extra long, I was originally going to stop at the side seam, but they are actually long enough to join at the back. So we end up with a double-ended continuous wraparound arm. Brand new sentence just made right then. Interesting in the front, but it also breaks it up a little bit in the back, so it's not just like a big beige column. But I think we got the placement mostly correct. Now I'm going to take this off. We're going to replace where I want it to be. Then I'm going to use the Wonder Web to stick it down. So we're going to do a little bit of testing first with some scraps of both fabric together to see how well it goes through a sewing machine and what stitch is the best stitch to go all the way around it. Once we figure that out, then we'll go ahead and do that with this. And I think it will be okay. I think it will be okay. Kind of got this far to then ruin it now, so... Okay, now that it's tacked on, I'm just going to use my little chalk pen to outline where it is, but also kind of outline where I want it to be. I also did some testing of sticking it on with Wonder Web, which is this one, and it's pretty stuck on, well, almost, and then using this adhesive spray, which I use for underwear making, to stick this one on, and it's actually tacked on pretty well, and both of them you can sew through. So I might just do the spray to stick it down and then sew around it. So that's what we're doing right now. So I have finally got the placement right. As you can see, I've been chalking all over this. I used this adhesive fabric spray just to make sure it's like on and stuck and it's perfect. And as you can see, it is also joined up in the back. Next, I did some testing. I used my cover stitch machine with the top cover stitch just to see how that looks. Obviously in this color, but it's going to be in black. I like it, but not really a fan. As you can see, lots of mistakes on these adhesive pieces, but all of this bit here, it actually stretches really, really well. And what I ended up using, the combination that was the winning combination, was this woolly nylon thread, my machine with a super stretch needle, zigzag stitch with the woolly nylon in the top and also in the bottom. So that is what works the best. As you can see, it looks nice and neat. It's basically invisible, and what I can do is I can actually, if I do it at the edge, I can just trim off the little bit. So yeah, I tried loads of different stitches and some of them worked, some of them didn't, but that was the best one. So that is what, look how nice and stretchy that is. So that's what we're going to use now to go around all of this. And then what we can then do is think about the fingernails, and also we need to make some gloves. Okay, so it is on. This is what it looks like, and you can see that it goes all the way around this end, goes round the back, and then comes up the front. And you know what? I love it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, so it just needs, I'm going to go in with the scissors, just neaten up all these edges. And then now we need to think about the long red nail. So I think what I'm going to do is find some red fabric, and I know I have some. I'm going to cut out little nail shapes, stick them on the tips with my adhesive glue. And then what I might do is what I did for this and use the zigzag stitch around them to keep them on there. And then I think we are good to go. So basically I want this project to be finished. So I've decided to use some Fabri-Tac, which is a permanent adhesive, to stick these on. so I don't have to sew them. So this is what the hand is looking like. Once this whole thing is fully dry, then I'm going to put the whole thing on a very short wash, and that should take off all the residue for everything else, and then we should be good to go. Okay, we are on to the glove portion. We are leaving tomorrow morning, so I printed off this Vicky Sews glove pattern. So this is actually quite a long glove, so I've drawn a line here where I measured, because it says here that the glove length is 82 centimeters, which is basically all the way up to my shoulder. I just want up to my just like mid bicep, so that's about there. So I'm not going to cut the pattern, but I'm going to stop the cut there, and we're going to just follow the instructions and make these, because I do not have time to figure out how to do this by myself. The glove. It took so long to make this glove. I tried a Vicky Sews pattern and it didn't quite work. I think my hands are just really, really large. Even the large was like too small for my hands. So I've got giant hands, it seems. So I just went on YouTube and found a really good tutorial, and I created my own one. It took forever to get the fingers right because I gave a lot of seam allowance, but when you sew it I still realised that I've actually got like quite thick fingers. So yeah, but we have ourselves a sparkly glove. Now it's already quite stretchy, so what I might do is just kind of fold this over and put a little elastic in there so it stays up on the arm. But already I'm like, yeah, okay. We have gloves now. I will say, this was not as easy as I thought it was going to be, and still the fit, it's a little skinny on this knuckle, so I have to really squeeze it down, and because I've got long nails, the fingers are longer than they need to be, but I have gloves and it will do. And also, it's the middle of summer. I don't think I'm going to be wearing these. It's purely for the look. Take a few pictures and then free the hands, you know? But so this has taken me basically an entire day. I can't believe a pair of gloves would take me this long. I'm going to do a quick clean up. I now have to pack, and the next time you see me, I'll be wearing the full ensemble at the Beyoncé concert.